Hello everybody and welcome to YoMi Tree Yoga. I'm Adele and today I'm going to take you on an imaginary journey to a farm. Let's see what animals and signs of nature we will meet on our journey. But before we start, we'll begin as we always do by listening to Adele's bells. So if you sit in an easy pose with your hands on your knees, and then if you're ready to listen, if you close your eyes, when I ding my bell, if you take a big deep breath in with your nose, through your nose, and out through your nose, and then just breathe normally while you listen to the bell. Okay, so are we ready? Eyes closed. And are we ready to welcome each other with our special yoga word, which is Namaste. Welcome everybody. So we're going to begin with our usual warm-up. You don't have to sing the song, but by doing the actions you will be stretching out the muscles of your legs, of your thighs, of your hips, of your back and your shoulders. If you sit up nice and tall, but relax your shoulders down, look ahead, be strong in your neck but without stretching anything too much, so ready to flap your butterfly wings as we sing. Fly like a butterfly, fly like a butterfly, fly like a butterfly in the sky. Fly like a butterfly, fly like a butterfly, fly like a butterfly in the sky. And then if you can, get your head all the way down to your feet. You might have to have a wiggle around, see how far down you can fold your body but keeping your butterfly wings. So are we ready? Sleep like a butterfly, sleep like a butterfly, sleep like a butterfly through the night. Sleep like a butterfly, sleep like a butterfly, sleep like a butterfly through the night. And then stretch out your arms, ready to dance like a butterfly. Are we ready? Dance like a butterfly, dance like a butterfly, dance like a butterfly, up so high. Dance like a butterfly, dance like a butterfly, dance like a butterfly, up so high. Well done everybody. So before we start our farm adventure, we're going to do some opposites with our body. So anything you do where you cross parts of your body over the midline, we call it the middle line. So if you imagine that you had a line drawn down the middle of your body that went down through your nose all the way down the middle of your body and sort of between your legs, so there is the line. Anything that crosses over that line, so if you cross your arms or your legs over that line, it makes the two parts of your brain, because your brain has two parts, makes the two parts of your brain work together, and by doing that helps your brain to work more efficiently and to your body and your brain to coordinate better. So it's a brilliant thing to do. So we're going to do some opposites. So we're going to start by sitting with our knees bent in front of us, sitting up tall. And we're going to start, so we're kind of chanting this bit of a mantra. We're just going to repeat some words over and over and try and get our body to cross this midline. So I'm going to start with my right hand and my left foot, but it doesn't really matter. If you're not sure of your left and right, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's an opposite hand and an opposite foot. So not the same side, but the opposite side, okay? So I'm going to put one hand down to help me remember I only need this hand, my right hand, and I'm going to cross over and I'm going to lift my foot and do opposite hand to opposite foot. And then I'm going to switch, so this hand now goes down, switch over, opposite hand to opposite foot, 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 opposite hand to opposite foot. Easy, yeah? Yeah. Just takes a bit of time to get your brain to do it, but by the end we'll be really good. So now we're going to stay sitting like this, but we're going to see if we can do our elbow, or our opposite elbow, to our opposite knee. So I'm starting the same side I did before, with my right elbow, but my left knee, the opposite one. Okay, so you can put your hand down to help you balance. So opposite elbow to opposite knee. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. And just sort of lift your foot off the floor so that you're making that leg do something. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. 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 Well done. Let's see if we can do any of these standing up. So now we're going to try the hand and foot again, but this time standing. So you're going to need to balance. If you're really wobbly and you can't quite manage it, if you stand somewhere where you could just hold onto a wall, or just touch a chair or something if you're really wobbly. Otherwise, let's just try and balance. So you need your opposite hand. I'm going to start at the same side every time so it's easier for my brain to work it out. So opposite hand, and then get ready to balance, to opposite foot. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Woo. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Now try and go at a similar speed to me, because if you start going really fast like this, actually you might fall over, and also it's not making your brain use those connections. Okay, so we're trying to make the brain work a really coordinated way, really well. So now we've got elbows again and knees again, so a little bit harder. So you might want to lean down towards your knee, but try and make sure that you at least lift it off the floor. Or you can try standing upright and lift your knee higher to your elbow, so like that, or you can sort of bend down and do it like that. So whichever one helps you balance. So we're ready. Elbows and knees. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. 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 Well done, everybody. Now you're ready for the real challenge, the trickiest one of all, because we're going to do the hands and feet again. But I'm going to turn around. Don't you turn around or you won't be able to see me, but I'm going to turn around so that you can see me from behind, because I'm now going to try and touch my hand, my opposite hand, to my opposite foot behind my body. So you're going to bend your foot behind your body. So opposite hand to opposite foot. 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 Did you manage it? Well done. Okay, so now we're ready to go on a farm adventure. Okay, actually we're going to begin standing up. So we're going to imagine that we're walking through the countryside. The birds are singing in the trees. We're on a footpath going along the side of a farm. Okay, and we'll look at the animals that we see in here, and eventually we'll go and have a look around the farmyard as well. Okay, so we're setting the scene. First of all, we're going to imagine we're walking on a country path, but the grass each side and all around us is quite long, quite tall. Okay, so we're going to use our opposites that we were just doing to try and sort of almost climb or walk through the long grasses all around us. So I'm going to sort of have my arms bent at the elbows, but then I'm going to stretch opposite hands up as I go through the long grass. So let's see. I'm going to start the same side I did before. This right hand of mine is going to shoot up to the sky as I lift my left leg together. So I'm going to be walking through the long grass and then switching sides and then switching sides, and you might even whoosh, whoosh, imagine some swishy grass. Whoosh, whoosh. Okay, so we're walking through that long grass. Then we're going to be that long grass. sort of swishing in the wind. So we're going to stand, and that's gone a little bit bendy. Okay, so we're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider apart, and we're going to start by leaning over to one side, stretching over as far over as we can. So I've got my legs wide and I've got one hand sort of just sliding down that leg and stretching over as far as I can. But now I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to stretch up like I'm a long blade of grass and lean to the other side. So my legs are as straight as they can be. If you need to bend your knee a little, you can. But we're stretching over, so we're stretching all up this side in a nice side stretch. But we're going to switch sides and be the long grass. That's it. Don't have to make any noise. We're just stretching our body and imagining that long grass waving in the spring sunshine. That's it. Okay, and you can give yourself a bit of a wiggle and a shake because you've been stretching out your body. Okay, so now we're going to imagine that, well, we're imagining it, but there'll always be trees around the farmers' fields as well. So we're going to now see if we can be a tree. We're looking, when we do a tree, to be as balanced as possible. So you're imagining that one leg of your body is the trunk of the tree. It's rooted to the ground. It's got long roots that go underground. It's strong. It doesn't move like a real tree trunk. Okay, so one leg strong, rooted to the ground. The other foot I've just lifted onto my tiptoes, but then I turn my knee out to the side so that you're opening your hips. So we stand tall. I'm going to start with my hands on my heart, but when you do a tree, there are different variations. You can have your hands here. You can raise your hands above your head. I know it's hard to see my arms, but you can raise your hands above your head. You can even spread your arms wide, whatever helps you to balance. I'm going to start here. So I'm going to be rooted and ready. Slowly lift my toes. So if you can put your foot against the bottom of your leg and balance there, see how long you can balance for. But if you wobble, just bob your toes down. Try not to do a big crash and fall over. It's all about balance and strength in your body. So putting your toes down isn't a problem, but sort of falling over in a big heap means you haven't controlled your body. So try again. If you feel that's not very comfortable for you, but you can get your toes on top of your other toes, that might help you to balance. If you just want to keep your toes out to the side here and just practice lifting your leg up and down, practice getting your balance, that's also fine. And if you wanted to try lifting your foot up here, that's also fine. But what you mustn't do is you mustn't put your foot against your knee. So below your knee or above your knee, but not on your knee, because you can damage your knee. You'd be pushing against your knee. So just be really careful. So give yourself a bit of a shake. We should always try and do something at the other side of our body to practice strengthening both sides equally. So we're going to try and be a tree at this side with our strong leg rooted to the floor, but I've switched sides. Tiptoes on the other side, hands on your heart or wherever you wish your tree branches to be, and then just find your balance. See if you can hold it, maybe for a count of 3 or 5. So put your toes down if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might find you can hold even longer, and if you want to practice, it's always good to stop the video, pause it for a little while, and have a practice at any of the moves you really want to know how to do, or at the end go back and practice those things you wanted to learn how to do better. Okay, so let's imagine now we're going past the farmer's fields, and in a field I can see a donkey. Okay, so we're going to see if we can be a donkey. So I'm going to bend my knees and just spread my hands, spread my fingers, and see if from standing I can just bend my knees and put my hands down on the floor. Now, I'm too close to my feet, so I'm going to stretch out my hands until I can stick my bottom up in the air, but I'm going to keep a little bend in my knees, okay? So to be a donkey, I'm going to see, can I lift one foot up in the air? You can have it straight, we can bend it a little bit, it's up to you. But then, can you do a little donkey kick almost? So we're going to see, can I bend this knee that I'm balancing on, and can I just jump it up a little bit? Hee-haw, hee-haw. And you could switch, find your balance, raise your other leg, hee-haw, hee-haw. And there's our donkey. Now, in the same field, a little bit further down, there are lots of cows. So when we do a cow pose in yoga, it's part of a move that people do a lot of times, and often coordinate it with a cat as well. So I'll show you the cow first of all. This is the same body position as when you're a cat. So we go on our knees and our hands, and you just want to check for a moment that your knees are a little bit apart. They're not right close together because you'll be too wobbly. So just a little bit apart for your knees, and that your hands, with your fingers spread wide, that your arms are locked and strong, and that your arms try to go straight up in the air. So your wrists and your shoulders are like in a line. So you just look at your body and try and make sure that you're in a good position with strong arms and strong legs. Okay. To be a cow, we start with a flat back. So our back here is going straight across. Okay. And then we're going to breathe in. And then can you bend your back so that your tummy goes down and your head looks up and your shoulders are sort of pulled down as well. So you've got this curve now in your back. And then you do a moo, or you don't have to say anything. So it's up to you. So you start with your back flat. You can see my back. And you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you push your tummy and your hips down. You lift your head and try and look up, so you're curving your back. So we'll breathe in again to our back being flat. And then you can moo or just breathe out and moo, curve your back. Breathe in and breathe out. Well done. So there was our field of cows. Now, with all the cows, there is also one big bull. So he's much bigger. We're going to do a different body movement for him. We're going to do a seated twist. So I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see how I'm going to do this. So I have my legs bent in front of me, and I'm going to take one leg and cross it over the other, so that this one's going to have to lower down a little bit, but I'm still bending it off the floor. Cross them over. So now you've got both legs bent in front of you, but you've crossed one foot over the other, and then if you can get both feet flat on the floor but keep your knees bent, that's brilliant. So I'm going to sit up as tall as I can. Now, because I've taken my left leg over my knee, this is the way I'm going to twist. So whichever leg you've crossed over, your body's going to twist that way, like you're moving round that way, whichever leg you've chosen to twist. So here I am, here's my leg that's twisted. So I'm going to reach round with my opposite hand and put it behind my back onto the floor. And then with the spare hand, I'm going to see if I can put my elbow to my knee, and then my hand, or the back of my hand, sort of down near my ankle, and I'm just going to twist gently round and look over my shoulder. So can you see? So it just takes some time to practice. It Doesn't matter if you get it exactly right, as long as if something hurts, don't keep doing it, okay? So then have another look how to do it. So it shouldn't hurt, but it should twist and stretch your body. So I'm going to breathe in as I look forward, and then lean over my shoulder and twist my head around and do a moo, a deep bull moo. So I'm going to turn my head back, breathe in, and then twist over my shoulder, look over and moo. You can just breathe out if you don't want to make the noise. Okay, so there's our bull. Now because we've done it to one side, again we should turn our body and do it to the other. So if I switch over the direction that I'm sitting on my mat, you can now see, and you could do the same if you're copying me, turn to the other side. So now it's going to be my right leg that crosses over. It might be a different one for you as long as you've switched sides. This is the leg that's crossed, so I'm going to keep twisting round to that side. I'm going to put my opposite hand behind my body, flat on the floor. I'm going to see if I can put my elbow to my knee and sort of just push against my leg as I twist. So I'm going to breathe in, twist round and breathe out. And if you want to moo, it's up to you, to be a bull, so breathe in, twist and look over your shoulder, moo, for our bull. In the next field, there is a horse. So we're going to see now if we can be a horse. With all of these movements, you don't have to make any animal noises. You can just use your breathing to enjoy the movement. So we're going to, this is a standing a yoga pose, but you need your feet a little bit wider apart, not too wide. If you do too wide, your feet can slip apart and it doesn't really work. So you just need a normal stride apart, not too wide, okay? And then if you put your hands on your heart, this is our mountain pose, but if we were to bend our knees a little, like we're sitting on a horse almost, if I just turn to the side you can see, so you're trying to keep your back straight, but you're going to try and bend your knees like you're sitting down on a horse. And then imagine if you were sitting on a horse, you wouldn't sit still, you would gently move up and down, up and down, so you're stretching here the muscles in your legs, up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, if you wanted to, you can do a clip, clop, whatever horsey noise you choose. You might even neigh if you wish. So there's our horse, and the longer you do that for, you really feel the stretch in your legs. So you might want to just give them a little shake now you've stretched them out. Okay, so as we walk down through the fields, there are lots and lots of flowers. Especially now as it's springtime, we can see all the spring flowers. So I think you might have done this one before. So we start with our knees just bending in front of us, and then we open our legs wider apart, ready for the balance. So this flower is a balance, and you're going to balance on your bottom. So you want to just check behind you that you've nothing that you might crash into if you were to lose your balance and fall backwards. But you don't really want to fall backwards. There are ways of doing it. So if you squeeze your tummy muscles, if you try to balance and feel yourself wobbling, you lean forwards instead of letting yourself go back, and that's much safer. And then you can try again. So legs together, legs apart. Put your hands together like when we've done Namaste, but this time put your hands on the floor in front of you. And then we're going to open our hands now. Our palms are facing inwards, but as we open our hands, we're going to turn them so that the palm faces up to the sky. So we turn our hands and slide them along the floor until they're underneath our legs. So you sort of can use your palm of your hand to cup or touch underneath your legs. And then you have a little wiggle on your bottom because you're going to balance on your bottom till you feel like you're strong enough to try a balance. Raise one foot, raise the other foot, squeeze your tummy muscles and lift your head and your shoulders so that you can be strong and balanced. You can pull on your legs. If you're finding it really difficult and you've gone forward to try again, you can keep one hand on the floor in front if that helps, or one hand on the floor behind if that just helps you to stay balanced. And you can try with both hands if you're feeling strong. Squeeze your tummy muscles, see if you can hold it, see how long you can hold that for. Have a practice. So there's our flower. And I've noticed in the last week or two, all the bees have started to come out, which is brilliant. We love bees. I especially love being a yoga bee. So to be a yoga bee, I'm going to sit with my legs just crossed in an easy pose. When we were a butterfly at the beginning, our wings were long. Butterflies tend to have longer wings, but bees, they have shorter wings that beat faster. So I'm going to bend my elbow and just tuck it in to the side of my body. Keep my wings out, but they're short. So this is a breathing exercise, a bee breath. We breathe in with our nose and then we can buzz when we breathe out. So breathe in and bzzz. Breathe in. Bzzz. See how long you can buzz for. So do a big breath in, breathe in. Bzzz. Well done, everybody. And I don't know about you, but I've now got a tingly feeling on my tongue and I feel like I've got lots of energy from that bee breathing. Okay, so we're coming down now to the farmyard. And in the farmyard, I can see a cockerel with a beautiful coloured tail and with the comb, the red on his head. So let's see if we can be a cockerel. So this is a squatting position. It's best to start standing up with your feet just a little bit apart, like when we did the horse and mountain pose. But then can you turn your toes just slightly out to the sides so that you can do a squat. And you'll see my bottom isn't touching the floor and I'm not on my toes because that's hard to balance, but my feet are flat on the floor. So if you're not very comfortable, you can just move your feet around until you feel like you're in a comfortable squatting position and you can balance without falling over. And then to be a cockerel, you need our hand is going to be the comb on the top of the head. You see, you can spread your fingers wide and put the comb on the top of his head, the red. But they also have a wobbly bit under their chin, so your other hand is the wobbly bit under the cockerel's chin. And then if you're just ready, we can breathe in and try a cock-a-doodle-doo, or you can just breathe out. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Try one more. Cock-a-doodle-doo. And I don't know about you, but that really stretches my legs, especially at the top here in my thighs. So give them a little shake. And we're going to see now, can we be a farmyard cat? So we talked before, I'm going to turn this way, about the cow pose and how it's the same starting position as a cat. So we started with the cow, we're on our knees, our arms are strong, our shoulders and our wrists are sort of in a straight line. So you just check. And your back's flat. But then to be a cat, cats like to stretch their backs up. I'm sure if you've ever seen a cat, they stretch and push up like this. So your head can go down, but your shoulders and the top of your back push up. And there it was, flat, and there it is, pushed up. So to be a cat, we can breathe in with our flat back. And then we can breathe out and push up. And you can meow if you'd like. So we breathe in. And then push our shoulders, our back up, and our head goes down. Meow. Or you can just breathe out. So we breathe in. And stretch up our back. And breathe out. So we'll try one more. Breathe in. And then look down, breathe out, meow. Now also, on this farm, especially in the farmyard, you'd often see a dog. This one's a sheepdog. So I'm going to curl my toes under, if you can see, curling my toes under on the mat, and then I can lift my knees and push my bottom right up to the sky. And because I started in the cat pose, my hands and feet are probably in the right place. And you try and make your legs strong and straight, and you try and push your head and your shoulders back a little bit in line with your hands, and do a woof, 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 woof. Or just stay there. See if you can balance your body, see if you can stay strong in this position. Well done, everybody. Our farmyard dog. Now, one of my favourite positions or yoga poses to finish with would be a pig. So what do pigs like to do? Well, they like to roll around in the mud, especially on a sunny day. Lots of mud, rolling around, having a great time. This yoga pose we can call the happy baby. So you imagine a baby lying in its cot, rocking around on its back and having a lovely time. But we can also pretend to be a pig. So make sure that there's nothing behind you as you lie back down on your mat. So you can have your head down, stick your feet up in the air and bend your knees. Then you're going to have to lift your head and your shoulders, see if you can reach up and hold your feet with your hands. And then from this position we're going to have a little gentle rock around on our back, like a pig rolling in the mud. Yeah, so it's fun. You should have a big smile on your face doing something fun and silly, but stretching your back and your legs while you do it. So if you wanted to, you can make some pig noises, your best, or whatever pig noise you want. Oink, oink, oink. And roll around and have fun stretching out your back on the farm. Well done, everybody. And as it's spring, we'll just finish with some baby lambs as we walk through the farm and look at the fields at the other side. There are some newborn lambs and their mummies in the field. So to be a lamb, we're going to see, we're back to this cow or cat pose again, on our knees and on our hands, but we're going to do like a half push-up where we're going to bend our elbows, can you see, out to the side. And imagine, so your bottom stays where it is, but can you imagine that you're a little lamb or a sheep eating the grass? So you get your nose, by just bending your elbows, you get your nose and let your nose touch the mat and pretend that you're eating the grass, and then push up and then try again and get your nose down to the mat now. If you are making the animal noises and you want to try being a sheep, you can breathe in when you hear, and then when you go down to eat the grass you can ba, ba, and breathe in, and ba, ba, as you eat the grass from the field. Well, I hope you enjoyed our farm visit today, using your imagination and your bodies to go on a journey to the farm. And I hope you'll join me on another journey very soon. But in the meantime, let's get ready for some relaxation. Now, some people like to relax using a teddy, and some just like to relax on the mat and not use anything. So if you want a teddy for the relaxation, you can rest it on your tummy or on your chest and just hold it gently there. But I'm not going to use a teddy today. I'm going to relax without one. So get your teddy ready, or get yourself ready to lie down and relax with me. So we're going to come to lie down on our mat and hear the sounds of the farm as we relax. I'm just going to rest my hands on the floor at my side, just have a little wiggle until you're comfortable, but then try and relax into the mat so that you don't need to move. body's just sinking into the floor or into your mat or into your blanket. And you're listening to the sounds of the farm. So imagine, like we did at the beginning of our yoga journey, that we're walking down a pathway towards the fields, trees on each side, long grass waving. And peer over the fence or over the wall and see the animals in the field. Just imagine what you can hear. Well, you don't need to imagine, you can hear it now. What animals can you hear? Imagine what you might smell. The blossoms in the trees. Fresh cut grass. Perhaps the not so pleasant smells of the farm. Maybe the manure if the farmer's been spreading it on the fields. The animal smells as you get nearer to the farmhouse. Imagine what you might feel as you're walking along the grass tickling your legs perhaps. You might touch the trees and feel the rough bark under your fingers. Okay, so I'm going to open my eyes and be ready to wake my body back up again. I'm going to stretch my arms. I'm going to stretch up to the ceiling, wiggle my fingers, and then stretch my arms back and overhead to the floor behind. See how? Do a full body stretch, pushing your toes back and your hands out like you're really trying to stretch your body out. And raise your hands again. And this time, can you raise your feet? Maybe you can touch your hands to your feet. But then we're going to stretch again. So lower your legs, lower your hands. Stretch back as far as you can in a full body stretch. And we'll do one more where we raise our legs. Raise our hands, touch our toes. And then stretch, lower your legs, lower your arms all the way back in a lovely full body stretch. And I'm just going to see, can I lift my feet, but can I rock my body up to sitting? I'm ready for the end song. Thank you for coming on our yoga adventure today, and I hope to see you on another adventure very soon. I'm going to sing our end song. If you don't want to join in the song, try and do the movements at least to allow your body and your brain to just coordinate one last time as we finish our yoga session today. So we're going to draw the sunshine in the air. Just move up a bit so I've got room for my hands. That's it. Okay, are you ready? May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Put your hands together for us to say our special yoga word. Are we ready? Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Till next time. Bye.